The murder of George Floyd at the knee of the Minneapolis police officer has sparked outrage, and necessarily so, around not only the United States but the world. I wanted to weigh in about not the peaceful protests that were important that everybody go out and do, but also to talk about those authoritarian groups that want to instigate conflict between Americans, to highlight conflict of racial injustice. Of course, there is racial injustice, but to stir up violence and looting, because it's going to play to help the Trump cult leader playbook. It's very concerning for me. I wanted to offer a new frame for racism that comes out of my 44 years of working with people in mind control cults and authoritarian groups of all types. I've studied models of people who've studied brainwashing in China and developed the bite model and the influence continuum to help anybody ascertain ethical versus unethical influence and specific characteristics of healthy and unhealthy influence. And it strikes me when I think about it, when I look at slavery in the United States, that the bite model fits both those slave owners and the slaves themselves into the frame of cult leaders and followers or traffic victims. So I invite you to take a look at the bite model. I've added a number of coercive forces, including kidnapping and imprisonment and beating and torture and lynching and rape and murder. But the psychology behind people who feel that they deserve to manipulate those below them and deprive them of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights is the frame that I would really like people to consider, because I'm speaking from a lifetime of a white privileged male who has graduate degrees, etc. But because I was recruited into a mind control cult and suffered a total shift in my values and identity and worked like a slave for no money for 2.5 years, and then got deprogrammed out of it, it's given me a very unique lens on how I look at the world. And I'd like to invite you to check out that lens. Thank you.